Hey everyone, this is Unlock24, and today I'm gonna be showing you or giving you my opinion of the Karakuri deck after the buzz, after it's been out for a little bit. Anyway, let's go ahead and go into the deck profile, and I'll kind of discuss why I'm choosing what I'm using. So for this particular deck, if it manages to load, this is what I'm using. So I'm using 3 Sphere Karibos, 1 Hypo, 3 Ninishi, 2 Inishichi, 1 just regular Karibo, 3 Nisamu, 1 Nishipachi, 1 Cash, 1 Offerings to the Doom, and then 2 Secret's Armors and 2 Treacherous Trapos. For the Synchros, 1 Stardust Dragon, 2 Berets, 1 Armades, and then the X-Saber Wayne. If you have a second Armades, use the second one. I don't have it on here because I don't have a second one. And I've been opening a ton of packs, and I've just been extremely unlucky. But anyway, overall, the decks, I'm going to say it's decent. I don't think it's really like a high tier one like everyone is saying that it is. It does require quite a decent setup for you to be able to use it properly. And I think the deck relies way too much on an Inishi. If you don't have an Inishi, you do have to wait a turn. So a deck that depends too much on one card, it's kind of, it's, I don't want to say it's bad, but it's just decent because it just relies way too much on it. And you do have a searcher with Inishichi, but the Inishichi, after it searches, it really doesn't do much of anything. Yeah, it can get you into Armades, but that's about it. Armades in itself, it's extremely good, and it can lock your opponent down. But overall, it can win a game every now and then, but you just can't rely on Armades to be making all the plays. If you use a deck with, I can't remember what her name is, the one with the Black Rose Dragon, that girl with the Black Rose Dragon, you can bring out Black Rose Dragon extremely quick, since you can make level 7s out of nowhere when you have an Inishi or in 2 turns. If you set the Nisamu, the attacker, you get an Inishi, and then you have a level 4 in your hand. But overall, I think the deck suffers whenever it plays against OTK decks. Kind of like if you're playing against heroes or Quakimerus, they're just going to straight up OTK you, and that's why I switched over to Sphere Karibos and a single Karibo. I was trying to make a space for another Karibo because I've been facing a ton of Quakimeru. So I just couldn't find a space for it. The Offerings to Doom is nice, and every now and then it does get you the game, but it doesn't do anything against the Trinade. And Trinade is being played a lot, especially in the like really high competitives, Platinum 5s and ups. Everybody's running 2 hate Trinades because it's just extremely good. And if your opponent hate Trinades you, there's really nothing you can do, especially if you're running a ton of traps like Secret's Armors and Treacherous Trapos and things like that. So you do need the Sphere Karibos, you do need the regular Karibo to kind of save you from that Quakimeru OTK or from that hero OTK that's going around a lot. The reason I'm running Treacherous Trapo is because I've been also playing, like if you're in Platinum 2 or 3, you play against a ton of Yubels. And I think the Treacherous Trapo is one of the outs to Yubel. And then the other one being the Offerings to the Doom. And I think that's why a lot of people are running 3 of them. I don't really like it at 3 because you do have to skip your draw phase. But if they're already at the 3rd stage of Yubel, I mean, Offerings to Doom works. And so does the Treacherous Trapple whenever they summon another monster, or you can just target your own monster. And that's one of the good things against about Treacherous Trapple, is that you can target one of your monsters. In addition, the Sphere Karibo provides a ton of protection for your Beret. And one of the things that I've noticed is that you don't really want to attack when you have just the Beret out, because you know it's going to either get destroyed, it's going to get either Sekaretsu'd, Widespread, or it's going to get into a Drowning Mirror Force. And at that point, if you go into a Drowning Mirror Force, it's a huge negative. You're basically using up 2 cards to your opponent's 1, and you don't want to do that. And I think I'm just using the Beret for its effect, And every now and then when I do kind of want to go for game, even though the opponent has like 3 back rows, I always do end up attacking, and almost every single time it's a Drowning Mirror Force. For the particular ability that I'm using is Destiny Draw. With Destiny Draw, it allows you to basically just get anything. I was thinking about taking one of the Treacherous Trap for a Hatronade, which I did play Hatronade for a bit. I tested it out to see how well it was. And usually when I was playing Hatronades, the opponent wasn't setting really anything on in the back row. So I just ended up taking it out, and I switched them out for the Treacherous. I also switched out one of the cash guys. If you've seen my previous video for the Karibo, and I took out Nanishik for another Karibo, and so that's where I'm at right now. I think the Deco Rod's still decent. It suffers, like, again, the biggest weakness to this particular deck is any OTK, and then of course Yubel. If you're playing against Yubel, it's kind of like a 50-50. Especially if they get their Phoenix combo off, then most of the time that's gonna be it for you, unless you manage to Sphere Karibu with the Phoenix, and then you can destroy on the next turn, and then after that maybe set up a Treacherous Trap Hole or get a Lucky Offerings into the Doom. But let's go ahead and go into some of the replays, and I believe I've recorded 5 maybe, but let's start here. And you're going to be hearing a ton of snoring at the background because it's almost 12 here. Well, it's 10:52, almost 11. So it is kind of late. Alright, so playing against Akisa. I think this is a hero player. And these games are... I can't remember what rank they were in. I think this is in either Platinum and the season before... No... This is either Platinum or Gold. I can't remember, honestly. Alright, so I get tags into a Nisamo, which I get another Nisamo. And it's going to switch to defense, so I'm going to take another 1400, which is fine. So I can... He mass changes, and then when he mass changes, I offer ranks to the Doom to just save myself. And like I said, there's a ton of OTKs out there. Alright, so I did get an issue with the cash, and then I managed to go into a Beret, and then a Beret gets me another level 3 tuner, which allows me to go into Armades. Alright, here's the Armades, and here I attacked, and I don't want to attack against with Beret because there's a ton of back row, and this is a recurring theme. And when I was running Hatronade, I wasn't really doing it, and here I really wanted to go for game, and it was of course a Drowning Mirror Force. So after that, I have to just play defensively. Decider brings out the Drodock from the graveyard, and the next turn I believe he summons it. Alright, I set another Ninishi, attacks, takes 300 damage, and doesn't want to attack again. I set a Treacherous Trap Home. Alright, he attacks Nishi, and Nishi's effect will switch him to attack mode, I believe. So yeah, so I Treacherous Trap it, and then I managed to save myself somehow. So summon at level 4, which I luckily drew, go into Beret, and then again into an Armades, or Armades, or however it is you want to say it. And then basically just attack for game after that. He Canadias, which, okay, still have Beret, I can flip it back up. He has another Canadian. So I attack into another Drowning Mirror Force, and then he changes into the Canadian. He summons a Sphere Karibu, then summons the Armades, and then he gives up, basically. My next one against Bandit Keith, and let's see what this is. And I believe we're going to see a recording where I was still running the Hatronades, maybe. We'll see here, or a second cash. Because like I said, I did take out one of the cash and put it in another Karibo. Alright, so we're playing against UAs. Nishi into Beret. Beret gets Usually I'm going to Misamu, so I have a somewhat of a backup. Switch it to defense, attack Misamu, then attack for 26. I flipped the Man Eater, but that's fine because I can just summon an attack of 1400 and that was game. So I guess if we had like a larger selection of synchros, I think that would be it would be way better, especially if we had a an actual Black Rose that we can use instead of not the skill to use Black Rose. I think that would be a little bit better if we had a better level 7 or maybe even a better level 5, which I don't really think there is a better level 5. I think Armades was was one of the best ones out there. And then I did try the deck out with level augmentation, and I don't know, I really didn't like it. The only thing that it allowed you to do was basically go into a level 8, which most of the time would have been Stardust, or what was it, the Asura or Sarah or whatever the name is of that other level 8. But again, I didn't like level augmentation for that particular reason. There's really not many synchros out there, so there's really not much of a point for the level augmentation. Oh, and this actually, this we're gonna see. I think this was a loss because I think he just had a counter to everything, and those and there it is, Hatronade. Again, offering to Doom and the treacherous Trapple can't really do much of anything. Here comes in OTK, Sphere Kariba, but he has another mask change. So I was hoping he didn't have the mask change, so he attacks to Anki, then gets another mask change, and then basically is able to attack for game, I believe. Yeah, so again, this particular OTK is everywhere right now, so I think that's one of the decks that you do need to be able to counter. So you do have to main deck for it because it's everywhere. Alright, so next one. Alright, we'll play this one, and then after this, I think we'll go ahead and end it. I do have another one recorded, but I think we're already over the 10-minute mark. So I always want to keep my videos around 10 to 15 minutes. So let's just end it here. Holy Guard. I don't remember what this is. Oh, it's Amazons. Alright, so Synchro into Beret. Beret gets another Inisamu, I think. Yeah, and that's usually your basic play. And here I attacked wanting to see if he had what was it? Not the willpower, the other trap card. They had that one. But he didn't, which was kind of fortunate for me, but he did manage to summon that guy. And then Amazon's Onslaught, usually it's somewhat tricky to play around, but whenever you have Treacherous Trap Hole, it's actually really easy to defeat, especially since I'm running Sekretsu Armors and they're wanting to attack. And there's that Sphere Creep. I was hoping to get a monster, but I ended up getting Offerings to Doom, so I did get kind of lucky and I pulled it through. But again, those Treacherous Trap Holes are really useful, especially when we're playing against Amazons, and I think that's one of the reasons that I put it in. Let me go ahead and show you the deck one more time. Again, this one has a little bit of versatility. It does have the potential to stop some OTKs, but you kind of need to have the Sphere Karibos in your hand. And I think with more OTKs being out in Duel Links, I think Sphere Karibo is going to make a comeback. So if you don't have them, I highly suggest that you use your ultra rare ticket, your dream ticket, to get at least one copy of it, and then see if you can pull another copy. And if not, you can always use the Karibo. However, this one doesn't prevent your monster from getting destroyed. So during your opponent's turn, a damage calculation, you can discard. You take no battle damage from that battle, and it's only for one battle. So I mean, it's a decent card, but it does help with the OTKs, I guess. So, and that's the reason I'm running it. I was trying to run 2, but I didn't have the space for it. I couldn't find space for it. I'm gonna go ahead and keep trying to see if I can get lucky. Well, let me see what I have on here. Get lucky and open another Armades, which I think Armades it's somewhat weak for everything that's out there in Duel Links. Everything is over 2300, especially if you're playing against heroes, if you're playing against Blue Eyes. There's just a ton of things that are over 2300. Armades is good, but it can't get over the anything that's over 2300. But anyway, my throat's kind of killing me now, so let's go ahead and end it there. If you have any questions or comments, or if you have any suggestions for future videos, do leave them in the comment section below. If you are enjoying my content, do subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.